Okay, lesson 52 is a review of lessons 6 through 10. So our lessons are, I'm upset because I see what is not there. I see only the past. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. I see nothing as it is now. And my thoughts do not mean anything. Yeah, so we are to read all lessons and commentary in the morning, and throughout the day spend at least 2 minutes with each of the 5 ideas. And then if one of the ideas feels more prevalent or helpful, stay with it longer. And then at the end of the day, another full reading and review of all the commentary. So I'm finding that today I had these reflections that, like, the first thought came like, oh man, my mind is really entrenched in the past. And this is what a lot of these lessons are covering. Just that my thoughts don't mean anything because they're completely informed by the past. I'm upset because I'm not seeing the wonderful life. I'm seeing everything I'm clumping onto the present. So I had a couple experiences today. One that stood out to me, which just demonstrated, because I was aware of the ideas, it just demonstrated how new it is for me to really be present, like truly. And Justine and I were on a walk, and as we turned up this street, and it's very interesting because we went a particular way, thinking I would do a whole route that we usually do. And she started fussing a little bit. And so I turned around thinking, okay, I won't do this big loop. I'll do a smaller one. And I turned around and I went a different way. And as I pulled onto the street that was going to make our block, there was a man who was like, it looked like he was trying to kick a stone. He just looked really disturbed. Judgment. Honestly, as we passed him, I thought, ooh, I could feel my judgment was that he was not trustworthy and he was kind of volatile. And I thought, okay. And we walked past him because he was trying to kick something and he was just like focused on it. He did see us. And then as I walked by, I just noticed like how I went into like protecting myself. And I'm reminded that something just recently we talked about how we make an enemy of all things. And it was like, I noticed that I was feeling protective of the two of us. And that kind of feeling like once you pass someone, you're like, where are they? I want to look back. And we did just walk beyond him. And then because the street was just like, our neighborhood is pretty populated. So the street we were on had lots of houses, and he had stopped off at some point because once we got to the top to make the left turn, I didn't see him anymore, like on the hill. It was a hill. We were turning left, yet I heard all this noise. And as soon as we got beyond him and I didn't see him, I just began to bless him. And actually what came to me was so interesting. It came to me to bless him all the way back to birth and then beyond. And what came to me was just that he would have, from the very beginning of his existence, been received like the Jesus Christ as this baby. I was picturing baby Jesus, who everybody celebrated, that he would have been celebrated and loved from the very beginning. And that's what came to me, and kind of I have embraced the lessons regarding the holiness, that my holiness blesses him, and I was just blessing and just seeing that. And yet my point is, I'm not yet, I was having the reflection as I was blessing him, noticing that I'm not yet in the position where, like if I was Jesus, I would have really blessed him. I wouldn't have been afraid of him. And I know it's normal. It's totally fine. I don't judge myself for being afraid of him, but I just acknowledge that all my past about seeing the way he was behaving was informing just all these past thoughts. And so it just occurred to me like, whew, I'm not yet walking the earth like without fear and blessing people with that vibration. I'm willing to get there. I'm on my way. I'm doing what I can, but it's just what I've learned. What I've learned from the lessons that led us to these, like our most recent ones before review began, which was to drop down underneath the kind of surface thoughts. And I don't think I did tune into my guidance, or like the visual I got that one day is go down into the well, like send your bucket way down and then grab the water, like grab the truth and bring it up. I didn't really do that, but I knew I wanted to bless him, but I just kind of noticed what came up. But yeah, it's just to recognize that I'm not always going deeper than my thoughts to the truth. And that's okay, but I'm on the path, and not to become complacent, like, okay, I'm going on. It's like, you know, what these lessons have been teaching me is look in your mind, see what's in there, and offer to the Holy Spirit or whatever the practice is that you let the truth transform it and take it out of your mind so that you're done with that one. It's like clean out the file and recycle it. But kind of like whoever cleans it, whether it's your assistant, is to decide to clean the files out and remove the evidence and the old and the past. So I am grateful for these lessons. You know, these are the beginning ones where it's kind of like, you're not doing it right. You do it wrong. Not bad way, but like you've been programmed to know things, remember them, make smart decisions based on what you've learned and know. And now we're getting new programming, which is you don't know anything, but the Holy Spirit, which is within you, knows. So go drop your bucket down when you need water, when you need the truth. Drop your bucket down and bring it up. The water that you need is not at the surface. The surface is, it's a drought there, so go drop down. So I'm loving it, but very amazing and deep and wonderful. So blessing your day and your experiences, and share them if you choose. And Justine's with her dad, and she's doing so much better. And one miracle for me is by showing up, even, you know, our audience isn't necessarily millions, but this audience is supporting me so deeply by watching my videos and asking how she is, making recommendations. And I realize, wow, that's a true benefit of showing up, is the world supports you and loves you, and that's a true blessing. So I'm grateful, and I bless you and thank you. Rocking it.